There are days when everything feels slightly heavier than it should. Nothing dramatic has happened, there's no clear reason for it, and yet moving through the day feels more like effort than usual. The instinct often is wait for that feeling to pass, to hope that something will lift it, that motivation will return, that clarity will come back on its own. But what I've noticed again and again is that the shift rarely comes from waiting. It comes from doing something small. Not something impressive, not something productive in the way we usually think about it, just something simple. Sometimes it's putting the washing machine on, not because it urgently needs doing, but because it creates a small sense of movement, a quiet signal that the day has begun, even if everything still feels slow. Sometimes it's stepping outside for a minute, standing in the garden, not with a plan, just noticing the air, the light, the sounds of birds moving somewhere in the trees. Even that is enough to interrupt the feeling of being stuck in your own head. Sometimes it's opening a window, letting fresh air into a room that has been still for too long, pausing just briefly to listen to something beyond your own thoughts. None of these things solve anything in a big way, but they shift something. There's a difference between thinking your way through a day and moving through it. When you stay in your head for too long, everything can begin to feel heavier. Thoughts loop, decisions feel harder, even simple things take more energy than they should. Small actions break that loop. They bring you back into your body, back into the present, back into something tangible. And that changes how the rest of the day unfolds. What's interesting is how little it takes. We often believe we need a full reset, a long walk, a proper break, a clear plan. But your system doesn't always need that. It just needs a signal, a small moment of movement. Something that says, you're not stuck. Living here has made this very visible to me. There's a rhythm to the day that isn't rushed. Small tasks are part of it. Not something to get through as quickly as possible, but something that anchors you. Hanging washing on the line, tidying a surface, stepping outside for a moment between writing. These are ordinary things, but they create a quiet sense of continuity. Instead of waiting to feel different before you act in a small way, and the feeling begins to shift. This isn't about productivity. It's not about doing more. It's about understanding that your state is not fixed. It responds to movement, to environment, to attention. And often the smallest action is enough to begin that shift. You don't need to overhaul your day. You don't need to feel ready. You don't need a plan. You can simply begin with something small. Put the kettle on. Open a window. Step outside for a moment. Move something from one place to another. Let that be enough. Because more often than not, it is. And once something has shifted, even slightly, the rest of the day begins to move with it. Not perfectly, but more easily. Here's a prompt for reflection. What is one small thing you can do today, not to be productive, but simply to shift how you feel? Love, Georgia.